Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of What the Health Just Happened, where we talk about all things healthcare, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, and everything in between. We also bring on a variety of business leaders, nonprofits, and community advocates to discuss some healthy versus unhealthy business practices and life practices. Today's guest, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. Is he the president and GM of the Jacksonville Armada? Yes. Does he have a really cool accent that makes him more charming? Also yes. But I think most important, man, this guy's a hell of a dad, hell of a husband, and just really represents Northeast Florida, I think, better than most people I've met. So anyways, enough with the intro. It's always awkward for me. I got to talk in this voice that pitches up and down. I'm going to do my best not to do your accent. Nathan Walter, welcome, president and GM of the Jax Armada. Let's party.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I do have a Southern accent.
We're going right to it?
I have a Southern accent.
This is great. We talked before.
South England. And, yeah.
So you have a Southern accent from where you're from?
Yeah.
Northampton, right?
Yeah, little north of London.
Okay.
But, if you halved England on that kind of middle belt line, we're just below that. So we're technically Southern.
Okay, like Florida is considered Southern, but we're not. We don't have the twang accent, which, by the way, he practiced his English accent earlier. His American accent, which is gold.
Terrible.
And my English accent is even worse. We might have to do a little skit there, which is, I don't think we should. My wife said, don't you dare try to do that accent because it's bad. All right, let's already going a hard left here, which I love.
I like it.
The human aspect, right? So you moved to the States, Northeast Florida, in 2001. I'm sorry, 2011.
Yep.
Share the story, how you came here, what brought you here, and then we'll go right into the Jax Armada.
Yeah. I was so fortunate. Just everything fell in place the way it should have. I was working for West Bromwich Albion in England and got this opportunity to come to America. Everybody said, don't go. And I said,
friends and family?
No, I'm doing it. Friends, family, professionals, everybody said, don't go, don't do it. Stay here and you'll be where you need to be in a certain amount of time. And I said, well, let's just do it. Let's go for it. And I did it, and we were lucky and fortunate that the company I was working for at the time partnered with Ponte Vedra Soccer Club. And we came in, we were basically a youth consultant type thing.
18 and under.
18 and under on the youth soccer side, yep. And it was great from an education standpoint of understanding, the foundation of American soccer. We looked at everything because they run it differently to youth clubs in England. Like it is a multi-million dollar industry in this country, where in England it's nowhere near that crazy.
Cost to play, cost to parents, cost to family. By the way, this is sweet. I'm gonna keep holding this up a bunch. I got to put this on to represent.
I love it.
So the cost to play in the States is significantly higher, or the barriers to entry, than it is.
Yeah, no, it really is. Just to give you a number, if you're playing recreation travel, low-end travel soccer in England, you're paying $100 a year for it.
Pounds, you could say.
Yeah, pounds, right? Pounds. Here, it's a couple of $1,000s, when it's all said and done. So it was just different, but it was good. It was such a good foundation to get a great understanding of the marketplace. And really see how they kind of run it as a business here. And that kind of really gave me the foundations to the next steps. And fortunately, in 2013, I was approached by the ownership group, the original ownership group, the Jacksonville Armada, to come in and be a part of that group and the expansion. And we had an incredible expansion at the time, 2014, 15.
Let me pause on that because I love coming to the States too. We're gonna talk so much about that. Early on, obviously what's happening right now, which I'm most excited to talk about. So what were you doing specifically before you came over here? Like what role were you in that brought you in this position at Ponte Vedra?
Yeah, so I was coaching. So I'd stopped playing at a very high level and fell in love with coaching. Coaching became kind of the heart and soul of what I was. You fell out of love of playing. Unfortunately, my professional career never happened the way I wanted it to as a child, and fell in love with coaching. And then all of a sudden, these doors opened up and these opportunities to come to the United States. And thankfully, North Florida was my location, and I've been able to now make that home as such.
And again, I promise you, we're gonna talk about all the stuff that I think is most important. But you came over to the States. And I think you said you met 6 months later. You met your wife.
Yeah, met my wife, and we moved pretty quickly. Within that first 12 months, we were married, having a child, and
Pretty close. I was like 18 months.
Yeah, my life completely changed at that point, and it's been an incredible story. Immigration issues, I had to come away from what was a working visa at the time to become an alien resident, as they call it, a green card holder. And
we look like aliens.
Yeah,
by the
that's
way.
it.
You ever hear that?
My youngest daughter jokes at me all the time that I'm an alien.
I love it. So during the immigration process, is that when the Jacksonville Armada process started also? Like, are you going with them side by side?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was kind of all in that period. My daughter had just been born. We're 6 months into this. The Armada's kicking off. It was just such a cool, like, when you look back now, right, and you look back and you're like, wow, that was kind of a really cool journey. But when you're in it,
was it stressful?
There's stress, there's fear, at one point there was a question. There was a question at one point if I was going to be in the country for my daughter's birth, and just honestly, thank the Lord that everything just worked out incredibly well. And I was able to kind of...
Here you are.
Yeah, be here now.
So I love, like, maybe we'll come back to the family stuff earlier, because anytime there's a dad on here or a parent that's gone through whatever journey it is, work or not work, healthcare, not healthcare, I think that's the stage of life I'm in.
Yeah.
I've got 3 young kids, right? So all this madness, right? 6 months in, meet your wife, first kid. So the first couple years of the Jacksonville Armada, and for whoever doesn't know, right? And I'll be honest, I wasn't familiar with it till the last 6 months looking into it, and I did some research before the show, but that first couple months and years, that roller coaster, what happened?
Yeah, it was incredible. We joined the NASL, which at the time was that league under Major League Soccer. The NASL, for those back in the day, the Pelés, the Beckenbauers, it had the best players in the country, and quite honestly, up in New York, back in those days, those 70s and 80s, we're getting 70,000 people watching the game, and so on and so on. So we were lucky that we got to join the modern era of the NASL, and honestly, it was a great experience. The level of play was really high. There was pure investment into players, so the quality on the field was great. Yeah, talent, and we did a great job on the expansion within Jacksonville. The branding, the local family, the Frisch family, in the early days, really, did it right. They put the investment in. We had 16,000 at the first game, and it was incredible. It truly was one of those moments you look back and you're like, wow, for this community to feel it, it was like you're at the peak of the mountain, right?
That first game, what'd you feel like? Did you get goosebumps?
It was, because we scored 12 seconds into the game as well. So, like, it was electric. Like, the feeling of it was just electric. It's so hard to describe, because it was like, it was a dreamland, And then all of a sudden, you start going through the period of pain. Unfortunately, the team wasn't successful on the field. And then you start rolling down this mountain pretty quickly. And going through that whole process, and I'm jumping a little bit here, but really, to go through that process and to understand what you truly needed for stability in any market, not just Jacksonville, but any market, and understand that you need a home and a place to be able to be stable and have security. From those early days, you knew you needed to find a home.
When you say, so where was that first game played?
So the first game was at Everbank Stadium, because we had 16,000. Yep. And then we moved to the baseball grounds.
It was at the now Jumbo Shrimp.
Now Jumbo Shrimp.
Jacksonville Suns at the time.
Love that.
I still have my son's hat, by the way.
But the Jumbo Shrimp organization, they are incredible people.
So they'd adjust the field, I guess.
Yeah. So we had to
think about that. That's crazy.
we had a transition every time on the field. So I think there was like 10 transitions. We pulled out certain things. We had the field playing a certain way. It was a complex situation for sure.
This goes back, and again, I love this topic. This show is. What the hell just happened is transitioning, I think, into like a Northeast Florida based. I've thought about all these healthcare providers all over the country to talk about. It's like, no, I live here. I love here. Community matters. Like, you need a home that matters. So now, like, we can fast forward pretty quickly here. You noticed that, you learned it, you probably lost a couple teeth getting kicked in the face here and there in a good way.
That's it.
And now you have a home. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And part of the mission with the new stadium, you know, we're in a specific area in that sports entertainment district with a neighborhood just north of us with the east side, the out east community, as we call them, that part of this mission with the stadium is to help what was going on in that market or in that area, to help them gentrificate and to develop and bring back what we keep hearing these stories of the good old days on the out east side, right? So for us to help be a catalyst to help that opportunity and for that to be part of the mission, it feels really cool to be a part of.
Hey, you are changing the city, right? I don't know if you seem like a very humble individual, but you and a few people are impacting Jacksonville in a really positive way. I
appreciate. I appreciate. Yeah, I fell in love with this city. You know, I've been very fortunate that we call this city home, and you know, a third of my life I've been here.
Yeah.
You know, in this city, and my child is born here. Our kids are here. Like it feels like home. You know, and so the fact that we get to do this, and I get to do it around something that I love, right? Like the passion of the game and the sport itself, and you know, it's you're just blessed. You know, you're very blessed. Yeah, you're so grateful. So grateful.
So, you know, look, I'll be honest. I'm pretty naive in this space. I'm going to start calling it football. You keep calling it soccer. We're gonna pivot it up here. By the way, Trey's over here on a mic too. He's pretty excited to ask.
I'm grinning from ear to ear because I want to ask you questions.
If you have something to wave or chime in, obviously.
One thing I want, since you were talking about Jacksonville and you've really loved it, is that honestly like a recruiting benefit when you're shopping guys that are from other countries?
Yeah, it's so interesting you say that because we generally live in a beautiful city, right? The weather, everything we have, we're so fortunate. I mean, I can tell you actually, there's 3 players that we've brought in back in the 2014-15 seasons that now have retired here, that live here.
That. So that means their kids are going to play here.
Their kids are already in the programs, and some of them are very, very talented. Al Hassani Keita, who played in La Liga, played for Mallorca, played against Barcelona, Real Madrid. His children are currently in one of the academy setups here in our city, you know. So from a recruitment standpoint, it is a very easy sell.
Who does recruiting? Is it you?
Yeah, in the past I did a lot of it in the past. When we restructure here and we start to really expand, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to have my hands on it. I'm going to have a touch points and so on and so on. But, you know, that's my bread and butter on that side of things. Yeah. You know, that is something that it comes very natural to me on that side of things. But we obviously now have to make this sustainable on the business side, which I'm super excited about. Like that is
you
is the
found
true
a love
goal.
For that.
Yeah.
We talked before recording, right? You started as a player, had a kind of humbling experience there, fell in love with coaching, and now you like the business.
Yeah, the business side has just grappled me. And across different business assets. And I've been really, really fortunate with our owner, Robert Palmer, who has
the newer owner.
The new owner who came in 2017.
That's not that new. That's crazy. It's almost 7 years ago.
Goodness.
But
it's crazy to say that. I don't think I've said that out loud for a while, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I hate when I say the year. I'm like, oh wow, it's almost 2024.
That's it. But to have just on that comment, just to have the different experiences in the across the companies that he has. And to be able to have experienced those over the past 5 years, I'm truly blessed from that standpoint.
He is a true, I would say, entrepreneur. Right?
Serial entrepreneur.
That term can be used negatively or positively, but he is a very successful entrepreneur, a visionary, has, again, very successful. Can you start talking about the groundbreaking? Is that teed up? You got the location set up?
It's getting close, you know. The location's the stadium site, right? So it's getting close. We're moving in the right direction. We still have some permits that we got to get through, right? But everything's still scheduled potentially
local government
for Q1. I can't. I've had a great experience with our local government, and I'm very
I love
blessed.
it here. I think I just like poking fun of everything in general, especially healthcare. If you want to make fun of healthcare, I'm in. That was a question I had, like the relationship you've had with the city, right? A recent mayor change, a couple mayor changes, I guess. Yeah. What's that? It sounds like it's been great.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you're doing something genuine and it's a community asset, I think when things start to make sense and you deal structure things to make sense, there can't be much pushback, right? Like, and previous former Mayor Curry was brilliant. He understood it. He knew what we wanted to achieve. His staff knew it. We've come in with the recent change, and Mayor Deegan has just opened her arms and done the same thing, right? And so we're just very blessed on that side of things to say, hey, they want this to happen because they want the community asset. The global game needs to be here in Jacksonville, and we need a home. and everybody just gets it. Everybody's on the same page. It's been very good.
I love it. He wants to chime in too. Let me.
How many people is this bad boy going to sit?
So we can go up to anywhere between 15 and 20,000.
Which is great because I was at the DC United. I used to live up there, and their stadium was very similar to that. And for anyone that doesn't understand, it's almost like an intimate vibe that you get. So I think everybody's used to American football, 80,000 people. 20,000 can feel just as crazy as a vibe, especially when they're beating those damn drums. Boom, 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 boom. So that's a good crowd.
I was there in DC this summer for the MLS All-Star and Arsenal game, and you're absolutely right. That is a 20,000-seater stadium, and it is rocking.
And it's beautiful.
It feels great. It looks great.
DC, listen, if you guys want to sponsor the show or send us free tickets, we'll take them. We'll show up there and bang those drums. No, I'm kidding.
Very cool.
Another question I had for you, you're talking about community. Man, talk about some homegrown players, because I'm sure someone explodes. That's great for the community as a whole.
U23, we talked about this. So
nice.
That was a question I had, very specific. Where are you finding the talent? How early are you finding them, and how many are homegrown players?
Yeah.
You mentioned U23.
Yeah, so we have our Armada U23 team that's been kind of the stopgap for us over the past 5 years. And quite honestly, talk about press the reset button and talk about finding the groove again and the feel for this community and for the Armada. Our U23 team has been that. Like, they have been the catalyst for us to be where we are today from a sporting and fan side of things.
For those that aren't familiar, can you explain the U23 thing?
Yeah. So
Trey, this is great because he'll ask relevant questions.
They play in the NPSL, which is the National Premier Soccer League. It's the 4th division, and it's a summer league that runs for 4 months in the summer. So May, June, July, August is the national final. And we've been really successful the last few years on it. What we do from a team standpoint is, and this happened 5-6 years ago when back in 2017 when we said, hey, we need to restructure things from a player development standpoint to give the opportunity for players here in Northeast Florida to go to the next level. And I have a cool little stat for you after this explanation. So what we do, we take 15 local players that have come through the academy systems here in Jacksonville, local, they've gone off, some of them are in top D1 college programs and so on across the nation. And then we look at the other 15 players and we literally go out and hand recruit and scout across the nation. They could be different nationalities across the nation. We take those 15 players and we have a squad of 30 players. And the competition has been really, really good for the local players. And that little stat I said about, we have 4 players currently in pro leagues playing who have come through this system. And 5 years ago, we had 0 players playing professional soccer. So it just shows that if you can put the right structure in place, you can put them in the right environment to develop around the right people, they can go on and now have careers. It is a true opportunity now in Northeast Florida for these players to go and play and make a career out of it.
Competition breeds success. I'm convinced of that.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing but competition when it comes to just sports in general in the state of Florida. You're just bombarded with talent.
You said something on our phone call before it's a couple days ago. The amount of adult leagues, right? What's changed in 10 years? You said there's so much has changed. We used to be a Man U city. Like, what's changed in 10 years?
Yeah, so I have this, and it's important, actually. I'm glad we're touching base about this because from an Armada standpoint, the next period for us is about fan culture, right? And the reason why we've got to focus on fan culture is because the participation levels at youth and adults in this city is incredible. It's huge.
Massive, yeah.
There is huge pickup leagues for adults. There are huge youth academy leagues in this city. There's a registered, unregistered number, whatever you want to pull out there, of over 30,000 people actively playing the game.
That's just in Jacksonville,
Northeast Florida.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. But the reality is, and this is where we get into kind of what is the market from a fan aspect,
matters.
Right? It sure does, because it's a generational thing for me. When I moved here over 10 years ago, I would speak to a parent of an under 8, under 9-year-old parent who probably played recreation soccer or never played recreation soccer, never saw a game before, didn't really understand it. You go to one of those age groups now, they've got a parent who's got a Premier League team, who likes MLS, who's watched World Cups, who has potentially played in college, at a very high level. It's a generational thing. And I've spoke about this a couple of times about Jacksonville's still an immature fan market.
Strictly from a fan. I'm calling it football, by the way. You call it soccer, I'll call it football. By the way, I got a Jags hat. I'm a ride or die Jaguars fan. But I want to get on board. We're going to talk a lot of the second half, ticket sales. The fan base is something. We love this community. This is another great opportunity to give back and something that's fun and exciting. The last 10 years, I'm just going to give a couple examples I have. Close friends of mine, we went to college together. You know a lot of these guys are American National Football League fans. The last 10 years, that you're spot on. They are attached to Major League Soccer teams, Premier League teams. They're all texting each other and talking trash and watching games at ungodly hours during the World Cup. So that's pretty powerful.
It's huge. And I think the Ted Lasso, the Wrexham, these programs are are really helping the growth. So what we've got to do and what our focus is to help with the fan culture growth, right? So over the next 6 to 12 months of our future, it's doing cool things in the community that can grow the culture, and people can understand what a fan game day experience is with the marches and the drums and everything else. So
we got 3 minutes till commercial break, which I knew this would happen. We're going to come at you straight out of commercial break, all about the fan culture, because that's what I'm most excited about. In a minute to maybe two, how can we what are the easiest ways to help? Just talk about it, wear the scarves.
That's
teach the chants.
Yeah, that's it. We have a great supporters group, Section 904, to get involved with them and do cool things. And again, there's all going to be these events coming out that we're going to do. We have the holiday bash for our ticket reservation, which we can talk a bit more about that. But it's just the more exposure, the better, right? And I think that's the cool piece. It's happening. There is an organic growth to it already in the marketplace. How can we be a catalyst to spur it on?
Throw some gasoline on the fire.
That's it. That's it.
Man, we got a lot. I knew it. The time flies every single time. You want to say anything else before we go to commercial break?
I just love hearing you talk about all this because I can see women's soccer is huge down here, which I think gives Jacksonville a little bit of an advantage. But also and I'm kind of nerding out here, but with people like Messi coming into the picture of MLS, you're just getting a lot of new eyeballs. And then on top of that, every one of us in here other than Justin are under 6 foot, and anyone can thrive. If you're under 6 foot, you can be the most dominant soccer player in the world. That's not the case for American football. So I do think you're going to start to see Americans, like someone like myself, I'll push my son more in that direction.
There's no heightism in soccer.
Not at all.
That's great. Hey guys, we're good. We'll fist bump on that, boys. Man, Nathan Walter, President GM of the Jacksonville Armada Football Club, right? We're not calling it soccer. FC, yeah. We're pushing football here, not soccer. Nathan Walter, thanks for joining. We'll have the second half here momentarily. That's What the Health Just Happened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of What the Health Just Happened. If you missed the first half, you can catch it on your favorite podcast platform. What are they? Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I don't even know, man. There's so many podcasts out there. Nathan Walter, President GM of Jacksonville Armada FC, which stands for Football Club, not SC Soccer Club. Right?
I love it. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are calling it Football Club.
I will. We got at least one genuine football fan over here.
You got a genuine fan.
And I'm getting there as well as some other friends. I almost had a buddy drive in town from St. Augustine. He's like, "Can I just sit and listen?" I'm like, "Of course you can," but that doesn't matter. First half, Nathan's kind of journey coming to the States, how you ended up in this position, the journey of the Armada, which was pretty wild, right, and awesome, and some really big updates, including a groundbreaking. I mean, you guys are all in. MLS, what is it, Next
Pro, which is the league underneath Major League Soccer. And
the U23 league. Again, if you are a football fan, not National Football League fan, if you're a soccer fan, dang it, I got to say it, I'd recommend listening to the first half if you're catching this on the second half of the radio show. Doesn't matter. Okay. I love Healthy or Not Healthy. It's just fun for me. Healthy or Not Healthy, flopping on the pitch.
Unhealthy.
Unhealthy?
Completely
What
unhealthy.
If it works and you get a penalty kick?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
I'm a traditionalist.
Healthy or not healthy? The term soccer instead of football. Say it.
It's unhealthy.
There he is.
It's unhealthy when it's all said and done.
Tracy, okay. Healthy or not healthy? Russia or Saudi Arabia hosting the World Cup?
Oh, that is a tough one. You know what? Saudi Arabia actually worked out pretty well, even though politically probably both of them were unhealthy.
Yeah.
So, unhealthy. I'm going with unhealthy.
I asked someone, they gave me that question to ask. Healthy or not healthy? The Jacksonville sports fan base.
Oh, healthy.
Super healthy.
Yeah, this whole notion of Jacksonville's not a sports town.
Oh, I want to punch people in the face.
Stop it. Have you seen the bank when it's cool and like people are not dying out in the heat?
Oh my God.
Like it is packed.
Let's talk about the stadium.
The playoff game last year with the Chargers.
The first game of this season.
Oh my,
year.
Nah, stop this.
I took my kids home at halftime.
Yeah,
Okay.
Stop this.
We'll talk about that. Healthy or not healthy? The show Ted Lasso.
Oh, complete healthy.
I love that show.
Yeah,
man. I love that show. Okay, healthy or not healthy? Guinness.
Oh, healthy.
Okay.
Every day of the week.
So look here, I got it. This is my midsection show. I Googled beers from your hometown.
Oh.
They don't have them anywhere, so I got a concoction of 3 different English beers. This is your bag with some Guinness in here. We can pop them and open them if you want, but this is a bag full of
That's awesome.
Guinness here.
That's it. Guinness is by
That's
far.
going to affect the cameras. I got to move these. Trey's over here moving cameras.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Boddington's is a fantastic.
I love Boddington.
Boddington's is fantastic.
Okay, a couple more healthy or not healthy. We got to get back to business
Yes.
here. Is this a problem or no? You're going to get yelled at?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
We are now.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to do it.
In good English fashion, we have to do cheers.
Do you have any good cheers?
Just a solid cheers.
That's good. Okay.
A solid
Quick
cheers.
more. A couple quick ones. This is the biggest one. Healthy or not healthy, the future of the Jacksonville Armada.
Oh, healthy. Healthy all the way. And exciting.
I'm excited too. We don't have to drink these either. By the way, I also got the ones that said Florida on it.
I saw that. I did see that. The little Guinness image was fantastic as well.
I put some thought in the beer shopping. All right, back to business. And by business, I mean casual conversation. Tickets are for sale, right?
Yeah, we have a ticket reservation that we released at the announcement a couple of weeks ago. And we're up in the hundreds, and it is flying. It's been awesome to see. So many amazing people. And so you can go online, get it on the Armada website, JacksArmadaFC.com.
FC Football Club.
Actually, it's JacksonvilleArmada.com. There's no FC on the actual website.
You don't want to confuse them. So JacksArmada.com.
And the page will jump up at ticket reservation.
Buy tickets. Again, if there's a clip to chop up, this is it.
Yeah.
JacksArmada.com. Get tickets. I will. Already.
There's a cool benefits program as well. Let's not leave that off. So it's $100 for your ticket reservation. And at the moment, until January 1st, you get a free jersey, Armada jersey. And what it does, that ticket also allows you to get in for free for our U23 games next summer.
Okay.
And then it also allows you to come to some of these private events that we're hosting for our ticket reservations, which the Holiday Bash is coming up. Yeah. And so there's some really cool pieces of the puzzle to be a part of. And
you get access to things that otherwise you wouldn't get access to, including, we talked about this, December 19th.
December 19th. Wicked Barley.
For season ticket holders.
That's it. Yeah.
What time is it?
The Holiday
Celebrate.
Bash. Yeah, 6:30 till 9, I believe it is. We're going to do a little campfire kind of Q&A.
I love Wicked Barley, by the way.
It's a great place. Outside, we're going to be out on the back porch.
Free plug for Wicked Barley.
Yeah, free plug. And, we're going to have some former players there. I mentioned Cater in the first part of the interview. Tommy Krizanovich, who played for us, local from Jacksonville, played for us when we were pro. He's now our U23 head coach. And then Jamal Johnson, who played in the Premier League, played for Manchester United, Blackburn.
Who spoke at the downtown event?
That's Jamal.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep, so he'll be there as well.
And the intros. Okay,
we're going to do some reminiscing of the old days with some clips and let them talk and have fun with the fans, and it should be a really festive night.
I'm getting season tickets, by the way, later on, so you'll see me there. I think my kids will love it too. Trey, what about you? Not about season tickets, but how cool is it to have a place to bring your kids to?
Well, I know it'll be fun. I was actually going to ask, do you guys do any kind of packages where it'd be like you just buy 3 games, or do
we will? So this is just a reservation right now.
Gotcha,
so this is the reservation is so you can get on the list. So So you're the first ones when we put out the seating that you can go pick your seats.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then we'll open them up to the public. So this is just a reservation ticket, but it starts the fan journey experience, right? From now to when we
Great
do the stadium.
transition.
Yeah.
Section 904. I love that term, by the way. If you're in Jacksonville, you say 904 Duval. The fan base. How are they? I've seen some crazy fans, which I like.
Yeah,
I like crazy
they're
fans.
Pumped.
Yeah.
You're
I'm representing
today.
Yeah, I'm
we need to
representing.
get this on camera because they need to see this.
We'll get a screenshot of that right there for sure. But fan base to date, and what do you hope to accomplish? Because we talked about a BHAG, a big, like, why not shoot for the moon, right?
Yeah. I love that term, the BHAG, by the way.
Big, hairy, audacious goal. I love that term.
Yeah.
And you got some BHAGs, which is awesome.
We got a dream, right? And we want to set it, and we want to go for it, and we want to do it. And Section 904, which is our official supporters group, and is a huge part to play in that. And we're currently in talks with how we're going to do some slight modification, which is going to help with the expansion of the supporters groups, and come together on game day as Section 904, marching down 8th at Randolph.
I love it.
Into the seats behind the goal, and the drums are drumming, and the tifos are going up, and the smoke and everything else is party time.
Do you have a chant? Like, can you teach us the chant?
There's a lot of chants, honestly. I don't want to do it. The holiday bash, those chants will be going off, but there is so many cool chants.
I want to like learn one right now. It's probably not the time, but I don't know the words, the lyrics, again, all of it. I'm excited, man. I'm not. I wasn't involved before, and in the last couple months in that event too, and having you on here, like I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
We just need to keep growing that, right?
Yeah.
That is when it's all said and done. Just like any marketing in any business, right? The grassroots marketing, the word of mouth, people out there pushing it. This is coming. This is real. This is exciting. The Armada is about to go on this new voyage that we're all, gung-ho. We have a strategy on how we want to do it. The fan culture piece is a huge part of that strategy on how we grow that, and how we, unfortunately, you got to also educate, right?
Yeah.
On the market side of things, and allow them to see what the experience is going to be. So we want to do these, we're talking about these potential town halls. We'll call them town halls for now. We're going to have a way cooler name, I hope. But
We got to think of a better name.
Yeah, all over the city, where we are talking about what that fan culture piece looks like.
It's funny you said that. So do you know the definition of Armada? I looked this up beforehand.
Well,
I like to play
apart
with
from
words.
the Hispanic.
Merriam-Webster is a fleet of warships.
Yeah,
and
fleet
again,
of warships,
it's
yeah.
predominantly Spanish to start with, but a fleet of warships. The other one is a large force or group of moving things.
I love this.
So how do we, instead of a town hall, like a Armada Pada? Nope. Again, I'm butchering one.
Yeah,
I like messing with words.
I'm probably giving away one right
there.
now, but there could be like the Armada Assembles or Armada Assembly or something of this kind of.
Again, that's the other one. When I read that, I'm like, a large force or group of things moving together.
Yep.
That's the Armada
That's the
fan base,
Armada.
right? It's
That's
Section
it.
904 here.
That's it.
What do you... Go ahead.
Oh, so just for someone that's used to like American football ticket prices, what's a ticket for one of you guys' games?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to range, right? We're going to have GA seating. We're going to have premium seating. Anything down from $15 up to whatever that could be on the premium seating.
$15 is super reasonable.
That's
to get in the
super
doors.
reasonable. That's your GA type ticket.
My lunch costs more than that today.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
those
And all I got was heartburn. And
Exactly. Get Tums, so you got to add the other $6 for the Tums
right
that you
here.
got to buy.
I'm 40 now. That's a great question. So 15 and the premium ones don't know. This is another thing I looked at the website earlier. What about business partners, opportunities to sponsor and get large companies, small companies? How do they get involved?
Yeah, so we made a strategy, and actually Robert made a commitment to the marketplace in 2017.
Robert's the owner, by the way.
The
if
owner,
anyone
yep.
doesn't know.
Yep, we'll pay you closing costs.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. We and Robert specifically made a commitment to the market in 2017 when, unfortunately, US Soccer desanctioned the NASL, that until we go back to being a pro team, we're not going to charge anything. We're not going to do anything. We're going to keep all the assets and the team free for people. Now that's starting to change, right?
Yeah.
Joining someone like Major League Soccer changes the complete outlook of of what we hold on the business asset side and so on and so on. So it's fun because those conversations are now starting to happen, right?
Yeah.
And you've been itching to have.
Yeah, I am. He's grinning here.
This is it now. I can get to work, right? Like I want to do my job, right? Like this is the bit. So, you know, when you start having those conversations and you start getting creative on partnerships and discussions with people, and there's been so many people that have reached out over the last 5 years, hey, we want to be a part of it. And we're like, well, great, just hold on. You know, it's coming. Yeah. It's coming. It's
Hurry
coming.
up and wait.
Yeah, it's coming. And now to say, hey, we're ready to go and start structuring these fun, great partnerships. You know, corporate partners to us are going to be the lifeblood as well as the fans as well. You know, you got to get it right. It's a partnership. It's all encompass.
That reminds me too. The event, it was downtown a month ago. Again, time is a blur.
November 2nd. It feels like it's gone, but it hasn't
feel like months ago. Yeah. It's not that long ago. You guys talked about, so it's also a co-working space, right? When you break ground on the stadium, it's to host the game. I thought that was pretty unique. So what they're building is also a co-working space. They'll have part of their company. And you can use it throughout the weeks and months when you're not playing.
Yeah, it's a really unique concept. And again, this goes to Robert's mind, right?
He's a smart man.
Just the innovation that comes from it. And, you know, we're about to make another announcement in the marketplace. I don't want to kill that buzz, but one of Robert's other companies, you've seen it a little bit with LPT Realty coming into the marketplace. It's going to be a stage for LPT Realty to grow on the co-working side. You know, hopefully there's many realtors within the marketplace that can utilize the building, but then also there's other, you know, the pandemic changed a lot, right? The dynamic of
changed the entire workforce,
yeah, completely. So for us to have a cool vibe working, you know, co-working opportunity within the stadium, why wouldn't we do that? And there's going to be these cool membership programs to be a part of, which, you know, puts the tickets in there as well and so on. So we're just excited to start. I don't want to give too much away, but at some point, you know, really release.
Keep them thinking what's coming next.
Yeah, release what's going to happen. So it's exciting for that for sure.
Quick question we'll go back to. I think, Trey, if you got something, I think you got a question teed up too.
Yeah.
Are you playing tonight?
I am playing tonight.
I'll tell this because we were talking about it earlier. I love this.
Well, it's become a thing now.
I love this story.
British military are in Mayport or docked in Mayport, they call us immediately for a staff game. And so this will be our third staff game this year, playing against British military that are docked in Mayport. I played last time, which was probably about 6-7 weeks ago, and it took me 5 days to get over.
How long until you could walk normal?
Mind you, I was only hoping for a 10 to 15 minute cameo and somehow ended up playing 45 minutes. Tonight, I'm going for a 10 to 15 minute cameo, so we'll see how long I last.
Make them 45 minutes. Another random question. So, again, this is decades ago when I wasn't married. When the British ships came in town, I was still going out to the Jack's Beach bars. Man, they were wild. You know when they're in town because every bar is packed.
I'm laughing
wall to wall with.
I'm laughing
the American British Navy. Like,
I met my wife at Jack's Beach.
Yes.
And the first thing she said to me was, "Are you with the Navy?" And I said, "No, I'm a soccer coach." To which she said, "That's a job." And
man,
that's how that first 60 seconds of our relationship started.
And the rest is history, right?
The rest is history.
Actually, you know, that's a great, right now, you said some really kind things. She's the rock, she's the foundation, like, tell her you love her, man.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. She is the heart and soul, and I am so fortunate. It was something I took for granted in the early days, you know. And
we all do.
And you go through an age, right, of like, you're still learning, you're still trying to understand life. The principles my wife has for life that I could never wrap my head around, for the experiences that she's been through, is truly incredible. And what she has taught me over the last 10 years, you know, well, more than that, but the principles of life and saying, hey, you know, your focus needs to be here at times because this is the most important piece.
Man, we could talk about that for hours. Again, I have all these cheesy lines. I'm convinced behind every good man is an even better woman.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Who literally. Trey, can you contribute to that or no?
I would say my wife and my mom.
Yeah.
So two women.
Yeah, you got two women.
Oh, by the way, every episode, hi mom, I love you.
Hey mom,
Katie, we love you. Yeah,
you go.
Hi moms.
There you go.
Yeah, man. When I talked to you earlier, and every time I run, you're just a genuine guy, man. You're real. You're excited. You're passionate about this, and it's contagious. So.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. She's had to put some work into me. Don't get me wrong. You know, like that because there's still that man ego in there, right? There's still that guy that's like a super competitor. Like I'm super competitive. Like I want to do things right. I want it, but you know, there has been some times where without her, it's like humbling. You know, it's sometimes you're walking off a soccer field and you're like, yeah, I just had a great game. Like I feel really good, and she'd walk home and be like, no, you didn't do it right, or you didn't do something right, you know, like, and you're like, damn, like, so
I like that too, because you're a golfer, right?
Yeah, it's something that I've picked up over the last 3 years.
Just recently.
I'm
obsessed. We talk about this all the time somehow.
Just recently.
Are you competitive out there? Like,
I am.
With yourself or with other people?
So
which I love.
It was with self first, right? Because I had to get the foundations right, and granted, I'm a very average golfer, you know, like very average. But now I'm starting to get a feel for it, and I can play a little bit, and I can, you know, I'm like 1 in 2 shots now of like, that's a really good shot type thing, right? Like you feel good about, you know, you feel good. Yeah. So now the juices are starting to flow a little bit against other people, which probably they haven't seen over the last, 2.5 years. So it's been a really interesting process, but what a great sport just to zero in and focus on different things, you know?
All of it. Time, and I think business too, right? Yeah. You talk about business building relationships.
And that's what got me into it at first. You know, everybody in Jacksonville, wanted to go play golf. And
did you get lessons?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm a discovery learner.
Okay.
Right?
That's a good term. I love that term.
Yeah, I'm a discovery learner. Like, throw me in the deep end and ask me to swim.
Yeah.
Don't put me with a book at a table
and then water floaties and say, okay, you read the book for 3 months.
Chuck me in there and survive.
You know what? That's good business advice.
It's done me well. It's done me well.
Okay, back to again. If we go down the golf route, we go down this rabbit hole. What are you? This is not easy to answer. You want to ask any more very
God? You brought up golfing. Questions? I'm like, can we golf in your new stadium? Where they set it up and you do the tees?
Oh, the drives.
Sorry,
like Jacksonville does. Here he goes. Sorry. What are you most excited for in the next 3 to 5 years? Followed by what are you? I'm just warning you now. Followed by what are you least looking forward to in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. I think for me the excitement is around other people, right? The impact we're generally going to have. Section 904. Out East people, the community in Out East, the wider scope of Northeast Florida. Like, soccer is such a meaningful thing to me. Football is such a meaningful thing for me. And I've witnessed the highest level of the game, right? Watching it, playing it, whatever. I've been there, and I know how it can bring and unite communities together. And I think for me, that is the most exciting piece of it, right? Like, I don't really fear too much because I try and rely on hard work and just dedication to get stuff done. And when you break it all down, that truly is the impact it's going to have on our community is the most exciting piece for me.
All right, the hard answer. What are you most nervous or least excited about?
Yeah, I'd say least excited, most nervous. I'm not really a nervous guy, and probably the least excited is soccer not making it. There's not much that kind of phrases me to be like, one negative for a start.
No, you're an optimist.
Yeah, I really don't, because I know the fans are going to come around.
Yeah,
I know the brands, like just what I've seen in the last 3 weeks, the excitement around the community, like it's not going to fail, right? Like in the past, you'd question, are you in the right league for stability? That box is now checked, right?
That was the biggest box to check.
Have we got a home that we can build this around? Checked. Maybe the fear is that the environment isn't what I end up thinking I hope it could be, right? But I don't. Let's go do some cool things, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to work.
Why waste time on thinking about this?
Man, I got a tough one for you.
Yeah, do it.
Do you ever stay up at night going, crap, half of this boils down to if my team wins or loses.
Ooh, I meant to ask that earlier.
Yeah, so this is a really important thing because that is real.
Winning
right?
matters.
Winning matters. Like this whole thing of like winning doesn't matter. No. Winning matters. And especially here more than anywhere in the world. Like in England, though, they're 100-year-old clubs, right? Like it's generation. Yeah, it's generation. Like fans
for years. Yeah,
fans still show up, right? You have to win in this market. You have to win in America. It is a winning mentality, and it's something that I don't. Losing has not even crossed my mind once, because one, I trust in the process. Two, I trust in my own ability. Three, I trust in the people around me, and I think that's when it's all said and done. You're going to lose at some point, right? But it's how do you make the losing nowhere near as big as the winning, right? And I feel
learn from the losing.
I feel comfortable that the blueprint is there to win.
I love that.
It's a great question.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I think soccer's in a healthy place, and it's only on the trajectory up, so I think you're in a good spot, man.
Great question, by the way. I was going to ask that earlier. Like, again, winning matters. Sometimes for 10-plus years, I was curious how some of us stayed as Jags fans, but great city, love Northeast Florida. Anything you want to add? We got 2 minutes before I wrap it up. Do a little outro here.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity to sit with you. We've met a couple of times now,
man.
and we've always
hang more.
bounced. And we got to get on the golf course and have some fun.
How good are you? I don't know if I want to.
No,
I'm
not.
I'm kidding. Man.
It'll be fun, I just want to thank enough and let's keep pushing this thing because it's rolling now.
Hey, Jack's Armada, GM and president, Jack's Armada FC Football Club, not soccer club.
Football club.
Section 904, represent, sweet scarf. Buy your tickets now online. Some cool events coming up, including December 19th at
Wicked Barley.
Yep. Man, it's just, I'm glad you came on.
Yeah, I appreciate
timing worked out. You got a lot of good stuff going on. I appreciate you coming on here. Yes, you are the president and GM. I don't think that matters, man. You're a good dude. Clearly a good husband, father, and that stuff to me is important as anything. So, Nathan, thank you for joining us. That's what the health just happened.